before becoming the vice president for student development, those days were somewhat more structured than the previous days. Now, as a coach, I didn't know if I was washing or hanging out. You know, I had to get the field ready, I had to drive the van, I had to come in for an 8 o'clock class the next morning. It was just, you know, I just lived day to day and did the best I could do. I loved the challenge of dealing with kids that were so unpredictable. Now, there are some that are predictable, but those are the ones you rarely see. Those are the ones you love on and tell them how much you appreciate them. But typically, you know, I would deal with ones that had issues or had broken a rule or something of that nature. I don't know that anything I did here, job-wise, dean, chair, teaching, was any more or less important than anything else. But what I hope that whatever I was doing at the time was the most important thing to me. That's what I hope. You know, growing up in a small, rural Alabama town, well, our lives were built around the school and the church. Late 50s and 60s, there's only 3 things that a respectable female did. She was going to be a nurse, she was going to be a teacher, and or a mom. Those were the 3 choices I had. I got a call from a guy named David Gardner, and David was at Gardner-Webb. And he and I had gone through our doctoral programs together. And previous to that, now, in all candor, I'd never heard of Gardner-Webb. And he said, you know, Dee, he said, we're losing a faculty member because she's the wife of a coach, Eddie Holbrook, and Holbrook is going to Furman to coach basketball, so he's taking her with him. And we need somebody to fill a position. I said, well, I'll be darned, okay. So I stayed for the opportunity to do what I can do the best, and I stayed for the people that I worked with. I stayed for the kids that I served. And lastly, I stayed because in a lot of cases, the people at this university and my kids made me feel like I matter. I had a passion for this place and its people. That's why I stayed.